Hey everyone, I'm Anna Robbins, and I'm here for the Cave Collective Song and Story series. And we're at Harriet and Oak, beautiful Harriet and Oak. I love playing here, played here many times, and it's great to be back. Thank you all for making this happen and for watching. It's been a while since I played in front of anybody. That includes cameras. I'm going to start with a song off of my first album, which is titled, the album's titled Anna Robinson, the Suitcase Set. This song's titled City Streets. From the car onto the pavement, no summer lasts, no summer lasts. Neon reflecting in her eyes, no time has passed, no time has passed for the one too lost to ask. Roam these city streets till the lights go out. Roam these city streets till the lights go out. Counting cards in her favor, and rest to lose, and rest to lose. Counting on hopes to not waver. We could choose if we could choose. There'd be a next play to move. On the city streets till the lights go out. City streets till the lights go out. On these city streets till the lights go out. On city streets till the lights go out. Thank you. All right, this next one, along with being a songwriter and composer, I'm also a filmmaker, and my project was a documentary about a local artist in Rapid named Dwayne Wilcox, and it was a really work on, and I'm actually gearing up for my next documentary. We're in post-production, starting post-production right now, and part of my fun with making the film is also writing the music for it. I thought I'd play a song I wrote for my last documentary. This is called That Is All. That is all I have to say. Just be myself and I at the end of the day. Are the deeds that I've done the same road I've traveled on? And that is all I have to say. Say what you will, I'm a tree rooted in the nurtured me. Oh, who I am is to know where I stand, study my leaves. Take my words as you like. I'm studying the wrong ones from the right. Each step I take is true. It's all that I can wish on toward right. That is all I have to say. Just be myself and I at the end of the day. These are the deeds that I've done. This is a road I've traveled on. And that is all I have to say. And when the ink from my pen fades, may my feet be planted in the grave. It's my heart in hand, a star racing, angel my slave. Remember me or not, this life is all I got, my own way. That is all I have to say. Just be myself and I at the end of the day. These are the deeds I've done. This is a road I travel on. And that is all I have to say. These are the deeds that I've done. This is a road I've traveled on. And that is all I have to say. Thank you. Okay. I decided, since we're experimenting and finding new ways to make art and do art in the world of the pandemic, share a little. So this is a brand new song. I mean, I've kind of been working on it a couple years. I had kind of the base of it a couple years ago, and I've kind of let it sit. But I find the song kind of coming back during these rough months, and kind of been expanding on it a little bit and experimenting with taking my video skills and animation and design with music and coming up with what I call video art. So they're not like films. There's not necessarily a story, but it's like a moving collage and that kind of thing. And so I'm thinking of doing that with this song. So it's not really a song. It's more like a lyrical poem to words, which is what a song is. But you know what I mean? It's like not formatted like a... So I'm just, for now... I'm singing this tonight, and if anyone here is singing time and you go to my stuff later and you find this, it could be totally different. This is fly, and like the insect, not flying. Fly under a glass, still watch the whole world pass, but let him go, let him free, might as well. I trapped to fly under a glass, still to watch the whole world pass, but let him go, I let him free, might as well be him if it can't be me. would you do without any walls, without any boundaries? What would you do without any walls, without any worries? What would you do without any walls, without any boundaries? What would you do without any walls, without any worries? I tried to fly under a glass, still no one world past, but I let him go. I let him free. I'll be him. It can't be me. Thank you. My little experiment. Now's a good time to experiment. Okay. So if my virtual tonight, if you will, is openspace.sd@gmail.com. That's my PayPal. OpenSpace is our creative group that my husband and I started, and so under work and all of my music stuff goes through there too. So openspacesd@gmail.com. If you find, it's greatly appreciated. I'm going to play another fairly new song. The only other time I've played this live for when I went on Black Hills Fox, the Black Hills Good Morning recently, or this summer. So this is the second time that I played it. But it's kind of took a while. Again, I to start a song and let it sit. I might get through like 2 verses, and it doesn't feel quite. I just let it sit. Make sure I hold on to the papers or wherever. Let it sit, and then like a year or maybe a couple of years later, thing kind of comes around. So this is kind of another one like that, and it's probably the cheesiest love sounding song I've ever written. I'm not really the country in general, but I guess South Dakota's getting to me. It's called Eye of Love. I sit on the bed and watch you weave over the words that these tears are the shards of a fragile dream. This night is a test of ties and pain. Telephone lines down, fields of a toil drown, lost in the roaring sound of crashing wind. Where are we now? Standing in the eye of love, this just stirs our babe sadness so. Standing in the eye of love, we'll serve as long as we don't let go. A weekend is named, the fears from our skies. I see the red light flashing in your eyes, punches and riddles, lying in loads. No radar would warn us. Thoughts that afloat. Telephone lines down, fields of a toil drown, lost in the sound of crashing wind. Where are twisters are badly so. Still I love will survive as long as we don't let go. All the nights and all of the days, kissing the stars and waltzing away to crash and standing. I refuse, leaves one last trial. Can we heal? Telephone line down, feels of a toil drown, lost in the roaring sound of crashing wind. Where are we now? Standing in the eye of love. This to my baby soul. Standing in the eye of survive as long as we don't let go. Standing in the eye of love. There's twisters sadly low. Standing in the eye of love. We'll survive as long as we don't let go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank you. Time, do I got time for one more? One more? Yeah. Okay. Also not very traditional formatted song. For a competition, I decided to create this film and enter it. How far did I get? Semi-final. No, third round or whatever to the final. Made it pretty far, but a micro animation I created a few months ago, and with it I wrote a song to kind of be the track, and I've decided probably a couple weeks, so watch my page if you're interested in seeing it. I'm going to do an online virtual premiere of the short, and about kind of it's about a little girl who suddenly the pandemic comes and doesn't really understand what's going on and is confused, and it's her support system and her friends who kind of help her adapt and show that, you know, you're not alone in this, we're in this, and we'll get through it. So the song for now is the same as the title of the short, and it's called Moon Friend. Make sure I'm in the right key. I see you through the window pane, deep in one child eyes, like you in circus top, reaching for those higher skies. This cage is not promised to life. Don't get lost inside the haze. You're not alone, alone, counting days. We'll be together soon. 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 So, that was fun.
Is this good? Sort of good? Okay, hi.
Hi.
That was awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm France Slack, and I'm the Vice President of the Cave Collective. And it has been just an absolute joy to be part of this series, Story and Song series. Doing these live streams deal. It's we would love an oak full of people being part of this performance right now, and instead we are hoping that you're able to catch this from home, and even more than that, we're hoping this will be a gift back to you as well, that you'll have this and this moment that's captured in time. So your stories and your songs seem to be both born out of kind of stories that you make up. Mm-hmm. Is that part of just your creative process? Do you dream? Where do those ideas come from?
I think, yeah, definitely a dreamer. I do write more about my experiences, and for a long time I found it really hard musically to write made-up stories. I have one song on my first album, and called Shine Like Orion, and that was probably the first and only song I ever finished that is really about a story that doesn't really apply to me. It was more the identified with, and then the story kind of came. I guess now I have another one, but yeah.
Okay. And are you from here in the Black Hills? Are you from South Dakota?
Nope. I moved to Rapid City in 2016, and I've been here since. Before that, I moved around a lot. I moved around a lot as a kid. I moved around a lot after college, and I actually lived in South Dakota twice prior to moving to Rapid City, and third time's the charm. I think I got the message now, like I'm here to stay for a while. So.
That's interesting. I find so many people maybe spend it almost universal when I talk to people who have really maybe they left to actually experience the world. Mm-hmm. You know, people that grew up here like myself. Mm-hmm. It's very special and sacred about this place and the creativity that I feel like it inspires. In what way do you think that your work and your creation, whether it be design or film, how has that been inspired by the Black Hills?
Drawn and filled by the beauty of the Black Hills, but I think a lot of my story, like when I write, it comes from people and the people I've known and the communities I've known, and I've lived a lot of different places all over the U.S. There's just something about the communities I've lived here in South Dakota that have just made me want to keep going, made me want to explore more and be part of a community. I think I've lived in a couple of larger cities, and I don't think I'll be doing that again. They're great places to visit, and I love going, but there's something about being part of the small community, and I think in today's political climate, it's not a bad thing to try to, get along with your neighbors. In cities, it's a lot easier to kind of choose your circles. Harder if you're not from the city to find a circle, but in towns, you got to get to know your neighbors and who's in charge of things. And I think that's a great practice for everyone, honestly.
So honestly, I thought that you would live a lot longer because to me, you're very prolific in this community. Your music, you're part of different collaborations and groups in the Black Hills. You founded the Singing Doe. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about that workshop?
Sure. Singing Doe came out of a brainstorming conversation I had with a friend, and for a while I had been feeling like it'd be really cool to have a space where female musicians and music lovers, not just musicians, could get together and have just one weekend to learn new stuff and showcase and show, people in this area is just what talent really exists here. And so that happened, and our first year that we did it was amazing. Like, the turnout was unbelievable. And we did it for 2 years after that. We're actually, now, just with everything going on, we're kind of reevaluating things and just kind of, people be where they need to be with other things going on right now. So it's, we'll see where 3 years, it was a great experience.
Well, and I think it connected you so much to the local scene when it came to artists and musicians, people who looked up to you and your writing, your songwriting, and your singing. So both you and I are probably young at heart, but not as young as some of the Cave Collective audience is. Students, young people right now, and I'm the mom of 3 teenage boys, they're struggling during this pandemic, and your short film seems like maybe it alluded a little bit. What kind of encouragement would you give this and creatives and human beings, people who are looking for connection right now in a world that is very disconnected? Is there anything that you have that's maybe carried you through or encouraged you during this time?
Yeah, I was going to say that suggests that I figured out a way to get through.
Okay, wait, we're supposed to be the adults in the room. And we're like, oh, I hope you figure it out, guys.
I will say my husband he's back. Derek has been amazing and has just been this. And just got married it's been a little over a year. And I can't be more grateful for the timing of all that.
Love in the middle of a pandemic sort of a thing. You're like, oh, I hope this works.
As far as encouragement for others, I mean, I struggled, and no one needs to know details, but I've struggled with all of this and continue to struggle, and I know a lot of people are struggling right now, and I think just the more you can try to find connections. I was actually talking to my aunt earlier today. She mentioned that she was going to try to get maybe some conference call or something with all of us together around the holidays. And I was like, oh, that's good. And it made me realize, sometimes you don't realize that's maybe all you need, at least for now, until it happens. Because I know I'm not a huge fan of conference calls. I don't like being in front of my computer all the time. But it's like, oh yeah, I needed this.
Yeah.
So just taking the time, and it is an effort, but we need to lean on each other right now. And yeah.
Well, one thing you mentioned, you talked about experimenting, and that now is kind of a time to, and I thought that was really a neat way to sort of look at the gift of this loneliness and this isolation, is that it's a sort of opportunity to play with things you otherwise play with in a less public way. And I think it's challenging when an artist as well, working primarily in visual art, and so it's challenging because we want what we create to be seen, and we kind of rely on that feedback. And when we don't get that, it can be sort of lonely feeling. But I think it's a gift to be able to play around and try new things.
Yeah, I think out of the pandemic has come a lot of online groups and initiatives, and I'll just give one example. As trying something new, like now is the perfect time to try something new. I ended up enrolling in a screenwriting class. Screenwrite before scripts or anything like that, and I really, really enjoyed it. But I ended up joining this online group through the Sundance Film Institute, and I've been able to talk to screenwriters, kind of some probably further down the timeline than I am, but some others that are just getting started from literally all over the world. And like I had a conversation the other day with someone from India, and that was awesome. And it's like it wouldn't have happened if, you know, I wasn't trying something new during a time where I'm so isolated. So there's some cool stuff happening, and in other areas of our community to kind of get through this, because I think, you know, we can, and it's a time to think of the future, not necessarily getting back to complete normal. Like I'd like to see some come out.
Yeah, that's a good, again, great perspective. So do you have new in the works? Anything that you're excited about, kind of looking down that road into this new future?
Yeah. Actually, just at the beginning of this, well, kind of before the beginning of the pandemic, I had started working on my and getting kind of the development pre-work done for that. And we did a bunch of shooting over the summer, and now we're in post-production. So I am working on a new film, and it's about a local rider and motorcycle enthusiast. You might know her as Jack. She has an incredible story. She has a couple books out, so this is kind of based on one of them and her life. And so excited to be working on that. And besides that, you know, I'm hoping to get Moon Friend out in the next couple weeks. We'll do a premiere of that. It's been so long. I actually have a YouTube channel that posted anything in such a long time, but I've started playing with cover songs again. I have found that during the pandemic, when I songwriting a lot, but cover songs, like finding a song that has the words that I can't find, more of a comfort, honestly. So I've been working on more covers, and that's been fun.
I am a poet, and I spent all of April writing a poem a day. I was very dedicated for National Poetry Month. And at the end of that month, I was just completely ever writing another poem. But I've read so much poetry, and I've really just enjoyed hearing other people's words, and sometimes that can be very life-giving. As an artist, it's important to draw on other art, invigorate us and feed us, and do that for me, because it's kind of a neat experience to sit on the other side of creation and watch it happen. What it us with was you're gorgeous. I could listen to it all night. And your songwriting is really, really just excellent. It's a gift, and I appreciate you being here and trusting the Cave Collective to put something like this together with us in collaboration and community with Harriet and Oak and other downtown businesses as we plan this unprecedented. Dexter came to me and said, 26 artists, 26 weekends, 26 local businesses, can we do it? And I